do not feel bad about yourself. You were a beauty standard, you know? Let that sink in. You were a beauty standard. Exactly. Hi, hey guys. Today I came prepared. I came with notes. Okay? Have a lot of notes. They were like, oh, look at me, I'm a big macho man. Ooh, look at my woman face. No. So if you were feeling insecure about that, you don't have to be insecure anymore. You are a beauty standard, okay? Sit with that and think and analyze. When you feel insecure about something, just try to frame it in a way that feels empowering and beautiful. That is why I'm making this video. Hurting yourself for beauty standards is not worth it. If you're in extreme pain, that's crossing a line, you know? Hello, babes. Today is Professor Jessie in the house. Look, I'm a cute little pigtails. Isn't it? Look at this, because I'm a student of life, okay? I'm trying to go for that, the schoolgirl Britney Spears vibe, you know? Hit me, baby, one more time. In this video, we're going to be learning a little bit about beauty across different time periods and cultures. But in this part, we're mainly going to focus, in part one, we're going to focus on like the more ancient civilizations. Well, not just ancient, but like, you know, just far away, like a century or something. The reason I'm making this video is because I want you, anybody out there who's feeling insecure or whatever, to like see how many different forms of beauty there are besides whatever is going on right now, trending or has been trending in the last decades or whatever. Like it's so easy to forget our history, you know? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at our history. We're gonna sit down. Okay, I want you to sit down and look for which part of the video resembles your type of beauty. Okay, babes? Oh, and let me know down in the comments which one of these type of beauties you find beautiful, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's what I want to say. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You let me know down in the comments which one you are, which one you like, and yeah, let's empower ourselves. Okay, so during the Paleolithic era, what was beautiful was a very round, voluptuous body, voluptuous everywhere. You were round at the top, round at the bottom, round in the middle. Okay, all of that. It was about being full and abundant, because in this time period, a lot of resources were scarce. And so the ideal woman was considered to be full, you know? There's a lot of people that say that her body type is more of a pear shape, but in my opinion, I see like so much like roundness overall in her figure that I think it's a round body type, okay? So if you have a round body type, okay. Next in the list, it is Egypt. Okay, these were the baddies that loved makeup. Oops. These were the baddies that loved makeup. Okay. They were the first to actually incorporate makeup, so that's cool to know. Not only did they slay, they invented it. Okay. Oh, they also liked being bald and wearing wigs. I don't know if that's not screaming 2016. I don't know what is. Okay, what else? The women were considered most beautiful if they had a soft, squeezable, round tummy and a flat, saggy, jiggly butt. Not in today's standards, but in those standards, yes. So if you had that like gym dump truck that you get from the gym, that was considered to be too masculine. A feminine woman in this time period, soft, squeezable, pronounced, round tummy, flat, saggy, jiggly butt. And the men were supposed to be like all muscular and angular, and they could wear makeup, and you know, it was all about the wig. So that's an interesting transition. But anyways, now we're on to Mesopotamia. These beauty standards are not too far away from today's. The men's beauty standards were considered to be tall with beard and muscular, very tall, like gigantic, like Gilgamesh. That was the beauty standard. And the women, not too far, just hourglass figure. They also wear makeup and perfumes. Throughout most of history, the best place to get perfumes has been Arabic. Arabic perfumes have always been the best throughout history. Everybody knows that. And then until recently, it went to France, but we will get to it in this video. Yeah. Now on to Greece. The Greek standard of beauty was a Greek nose. In today's society, that would be considered a big nose. But I personally like the little hump. I think it's cute. Yeah. I think I have a little bit, but it's a little bit more flat. It's a little bit flat, but I have a tiny one. I don't know, you can see it from some angles. It's a tiny one. But I think it's cute. And what else? Unibrows were considered to be like the thing. If you had a unibrow, you were like, out of everybody's league. Another thing, Aphrodite, the sculpture of Aphrodite, she had tiny melons. She had tiny little melons, little grape melons. And she had tummy rolls too. They found small lips to be beautiful. In today's society, it's a little bit more of the plumper lips. Yeah, and the pear-shaped body was in pear-shaped body, which is like a little bit flatter on the top, a little bit more on the bottom. And yeah, tummy rolls were seen as beautiful. They didn't have, even though like the Greeks, they were all about like being healthy in sports and all that. The women didn't rock like abs. So that's cool. That's cool, Has some diversity in there. Everybody's beautiful. The next category, ancient China. Okay, ancient China is divided into two parts. Okay, but the main theme, beauty falls in grace and delicacy. So like a delicate woman. That was beautiful. In the Tang Dynasty, plump and round faces were beautiful because it meant wealth and fertility. But when the Song Dynasty took over, a slender figure was in. And that's also when they practiced foot binding. If you don't know what that is, I recommend you never look it up. Save yourself from that. It is horrific. Horrific. They thought that it was feminine for women to have tinier, like delicate feet. So they would like get their feet and like imagine your foot is flat and just imagine how painful that is. You get someone's foot. Oh, shut up. You get someone's foot and you bend it in half. You know how crazy painful that is? If nature wanted us to be like that, it would do that for us. No. It was a sign of social status if you did that. No. It's a crime against humanity. Against women. But yeah, they considered that to be beautiful. Foot, like, it's crazy to me. Hurting yourself for beauty standards is not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, it's cute to have fun and look good, but if you're in extreme pain, that's crossing a line, Ancient India. Similar to, where was this place? Let me look at my notes. Mesopotamia. How could I forget? Mesopotamia. Voluptuous figure, hourglass, wide hips, full breasts, beauty marks were a huge symbol. Like that's why they have the little, and yeah, they see that stuff as beautiful, and I'm like, yes, it is beautiful. Taking good care of your hair was very valued, like having oils, making sure it's long, it's healthy, it's good. Yes, I approve. The Mayans, head shaping, elongated heads. Like when they had babies, they would do a little thing. They would like wrap up their head and like squeeze it a little bit to make it elongated. So if I were Mayan, I would not have a round face. I would have, and I would have been like, can you do my cheeks too? Like, give me some cheekbones. Yeah, I would be like that. And what else did they do? They loved the cross-eyed look. Yes, they would dangle things in front of their newborns' eyes to see if they become cross-eyed. They thought that was beautiful. So you see, like, beauty is extremely subjective. So what to some people may be like, oh my God, what is that? To other people, it's like, oh my God, what is that? And where has it been my whole life? You know? So I hope you can sit with that and think and analyze. When you feel insecure about something, just try to frame it in a way that feels empowering and beautiful. That is why I'm making this video. Ooh, and up next, we go to the OG clean girls. Can anybody take a guess? Who are the OG clean girls? The answer might shock you a little bit. It was the Vikings, okay? I know. They get portrayed in the movies all the time that they're like these rough and like
savage,
ravage or whatever. Mayhem. But they really took good care of their hygiene, and they would groom themselves really well. They made sure that they had the tools necessary to do that. And they would take really good care of their hair as well. They would have oils. They would try to have long hair that is groomed. Yeah. OG clean girls. Now you know. Okay, up next, Japan. In Japan, you were considered high status if you could powder your face white like a ghost. It's a ghostly white. That's the beauty. And they would blacken their teeth. Yeah, that was only reserved for like the highest elite. They would blacken their teeth. It was considered like, oh, I'm better than you. Look at my, and they're black. What do you have? Yeah, and this is the part of the video where everything becomes Eurocentric, okay? During the Middle Ages, the beauty standard was to be a little bit more edgy and goth, and to look macabre, like death, like having pale skin, high foreheads. It was considered sexy, but you can't say sexy because like that's like looked down upon the church. So here we're going to put the word edgy. Edgy, you look. And yeah, another thing that they would do is they would pluck their hairlines back just to look like they had a bigger forehead. You know, I know it's not like wanted everywhere, but I love baby hairs. Don't pluck out my forehead. No, I could not. But you see, if you do not have a lot of hair over here and it's like more pushed back, that was a beauty trend. And if you look like that, do not feel bad about yourself. You were a beauty standard, you know? Let that sink in. You were a beauty standard. Exactly. In the Renaissance era, large foreheads were still trending, so you know that overplucked. Pale. A new thing that they added: tiny mouths. Like the smaller, the tinier. That was beautiful, and also having very thin, overplucked eyebrows. And this might surprise a few people, but they would actually remove their eyelashes. Yeah, they would remove their eyelashes. I want you to take a guess how they would remove it. How would you remove your eyebrows? I mean, your eyelashes, if you wanted to remove them. Not false eyelashes, like your natural eyelashes. Oh, wait. Put it down in the comments. Okay, they would remove it with poison. Dun dun dun. That's the solution for everything back then. It was poison. Oh, you want to put on makeup? Just poison yourself really quick. That was the solution. You want to look beautiful? Oh, have this poison. Have this snake oil. Another thing, their beauty standard was also pear-shaped. Isn't it? It's interesting. The Greek standard of beauty was pear-shaped, and the Renaissance standard of beauty is pear-shaped. But this standard of beauty of the Renaissance era, it was pear-shaped with fleshy arms. So you got fleshy arms, I got fleshy arms. I think they're cute. I don't know what anybody has to say. Like, oh, you could turn your arms. These are the arms of someone who can cook and who can eat, okay? That's what I think. And I'm not ashamed of it, okay? So if you were feeling insecure about that, you don't have to be insecure anymore. You are a beauty standard. Up next, the Gregarian era. The fashion was dramatic. Very dramatic. It was powdered white wigs and pale powdered faces. They would apply birthmark and rouge. It's very like dramatic and contrasted. The bright rouge, the whites, and the birthmark. And in the Gregarian era is also when the French took over the perfume industry. They're like, no, we're better than you. The French took over. But in my opinion, the Arabics are still winning. Like, you make the best perfumes. Stop it. After the Gregarian era came the Victorian era from Queen Victoria. She was the daughter of and when she took over the crown, she said, no, not that. Makeup is for actresses and women of the night. She said, not over here, babes, not over here. She said, boo you. And another thing that came about that era was the damsel in distress. Women would wear corsets and they would faint, and it would add on to the belief that women were frail and they were below men. And the men liked that. They were like, oh, look at me, I'm a big macho man. Ooh, look at my woman faints. No. The style was very like hyper feminine, overly dramatic curves, corsets, women fainting, frailty. And the style that was in was a sick look, and that was trending, that was considered beautiful, that was considered in style at the time, to look sick. Like, women would purposely make themselves look sick, like tired, and like, it's weird. It's weird, but to each their own. You see everyone is beautiful. Next, this is the direct contrast to the Victorian era. My girls stood up and they were like, no, we're flappers now. The rectangle body was in. They ditched the corsets. They were like, I'm a woman, I do what I want. And they were wearing slim, slender, rectangular dresses. They were like, I don't need to appease to any man, and it's all going to be about being slim. No curves. Curves for what? For a man? I don't think so. No curves, rectangle body type, and short hair. That was like the least feminine thing you could have at that time. And it was like, for the older generations, they were like, how could you as a woman do that to yourself? And they were like, yeah, I did it. What are you gonna do? So, in conclusion, the only constant theme in beauty standards is that they always change, and they will always change. Okay, so the best thing that we could do is love ourselves, see the beauty in ourselves, okay? Foster that love within ourselves, and yeah, just radiate who we are. So I wanted to leave the video in the century mark, okay? And then I'll be making a part 2, so stay tuned.